Pam Little, and I am sharing comments from the chair of the State Board of Education, Dr. Kevin Ellis.
We're ready.
Okay. Good morning, Chairman Buckley and Vice Chair Allen. I know you have served on the State Board of Education before, and thank you for that service. Thank you for the opportunity to testify on HB 1605. My name is Pam Little, and I am the Vice Chair of the State Board of Education. I represent District 12, which is Collin County, and the northeastern corner of Texas. Dr. Ellis, chair of the SBOE, could not be here today due to his professional obligations. Commissioner Morath consulted with Chair Ellis and me several times through the summer and fall regarding the need for this bill, and more recently met with many, if not all, of the members of the State Board regarding HB 1605. And we very much appreciate the commissioner seeking out SBOE input. Dr. Ellis then polled the members who had met with the commissioner to get their thoughts. There are a lot of items that align with the thoughts of many SBOE members. First, giving the State Board authority to determine the TEKS percentage in instructional materials by rule. Statute currently requires instructional materials to include only 50%. I do think the 50% threshold is too low and should be closer to 100% for the foundation courses. This percentage can then vary based on the course, such as a career and technology courses may not necessarily need to have a high percentage of the TEKS. Secondly, providing the SBO with input into the Texas Resource Review with approval of the rubric. As we approve the standards, it's important that that rubric match those standards, so I think that's a good addition. And also adding SBOE approval to the open education resources. All of these items will strengthen the SBOE authority over instructional materials. There were, however, some concerns. I will list them and then provide an explanation. The first concern would be to changing the adoption process of instructional materials by doing away with our proclamation process. Why so much emphasis on the open education resources versus the traditional method? Areas of conflicting rulemaking authority and the funding mechanisms. With regard to the proclamation process, in Section 21, the entire current instructional materials process is deleted and new language added. This new language essentially creates an evergreen situation where materials are currently reviewed as publishers submit their products. As I understand it, the Commissioner wants a reset of the cycle by starting with the English, language arts, and reading, and math. Currently, here is where we are in our process of instructional materials. We have issued Proclamation 2024. That would include science materials, personal financial literacy, and some career and technology courses. These samples are due to be filed within the next few weeks. Next would be the Math TEKS review, math instructional materials, and then social studies. The resetting will mean that the English, language arts, and math will be presented for review immediately through the Texas Resource Review, and districts may be used to buy funds in these two subjects. English, language arts, and reading was last purchased in 2017 for a cost of $1.1 billion. We're in the process of a phonics call, which will require more funds. If we do the reset and in a couple of years purchase language arts materials again, could be another $1 billion. And by that time, we would be close to the review of the English language arts TEKS, assuming that we still keep that ability to have that review. So that means within a 10-year period, the state might have spent over $3 billion on English language arts and reading materials, which personally as a taxpayer, I consider that irresponsible. Another problem with this is that the social studies materials would get pushed back again, and they've already been pushed back once. If we do away with the stability and predictability of the adoption cycles, publishers will be less likely to publish for Texas as they have in the past. An unintended consequence is that the quality of materials from a Texas perspective will likely decrease. The State Board of Education review and adoption cycle should not be replaced with a process that authorizes the commissioner to determine when and what subject and courses are reviewed. With regarding the open education resources and reading the 58-page bill, most of the focus is on open education resources. As I know all of you know, instructional materials are a big very important to parents today. One of my concerns is that by definition and referred to in Section 11, 1-A, the definition of open education resources allows for free use, reuse, modification, and sharing with others. The term modification is very concerning to me as a state board member. Does the state board approve OER materials and then the districts can modify them? If so, what is the point of the approval?
Ms. Little, can you wrap it up?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
In closing, I would like to say that there are a lot of aspects of this bill that we like. However, there are other aspects of the bill that require closer scrutiny before you act. And Chair Ellis and members of the State Board are willing to work with you to get this bill the best for the students of Texas.
Thank you.
Ms. Little.
Yes.
Concerning the review and vetting of instructional materials, should the focus be on what is best for students so they have high-quality materials in the classroom, or what's convenient for textbook publishers?
Absolutely what's best for the students.
Okay. And is the change in the proclamation process and those the things that you implied in your testimony, is all that has all that been totally set in stone and worked out yet? I don't believe it has.
No, it hasn't, but I wanted to bring it to your
Let's not
attention.
represent that in a way.
Okay, all right.
Okay?
Okay.
We're about students and high-quality materials.
Absolutely.
We'll deal with the adults last, students first.
Absolutely.